One of the first mods that I wanted to talk about is the Southsil Armor. It's a mod that adds armors, which is pretty straightforward, but in general this one is my favorite and I think it deserves to be here because the ideas of the armor are always very nice. So like the aesthetics and all of that are pretty cool. In general, it also kind of tends to fail at some textures of the armors and they don't look as sharpened as they should look. But for the ideas, I think it's such a plus that I still would play with this mod. The performance of the armors are pretty good as well, depending on which biome you kind of want to go and which armor you have. You have sort of a progression with all the armors, you can upgrade, you can find a lot of armors. So in general, it's a good armor mod pack to use, and if you really enjoyed to see how our armor looks, this one is especially for you because the armors are all very nice. If you are a fan of magic weapons and stuffs, I would recommend you to have the magical weapons. It adds the lighting wand and also the acid wand. We can also have some other weapons as you are seeing right now on the screen. I'm swapping through the ones that I found out to be the best, but in general the stuffs are what really matter. And the reason they matter is because you have the default stuffs, but with these two stuffs you can do lighting damage, for example, which I feel like it's a plus for the game. There's a new magic system that we can all use and take advantage of, and just having three stuffs, it's just not enough. So you have one that does poison damage and one that does lighting damage. They are pretty cool, as you can see, and you can use them with just the basic stuff of the magical system, and I think this takes a good spot and it's a very necessary mod because you always want to have more options when it comes to magic. And because weapons are such a huge part of this game, you have steel crafting, which adds all these workstations and upgrades for the workstation. And if you think I am lying, well, think again. I'm going to use the forge. I can make the cold steel crucible, as you can see right here. It's complete. It says add item. Actually, we have to go here, add ore, and now we add the crucible. There we go. Now we just have to wait a little bit for this kind of to do his own thing. There we go. And we have liquid steel crucible, which we can put on the steel. Oh, there we go. Now we have to wait for this to do his own thing again. There we go, liquid steel crucible. You press tab and you now have an item on your inventory, which is this oxidized steel. You want to go here and add it. Again, wait this thing to do his thing. There we go, we got the cold steel, and yet if I open this I can't really do anything else. So I just want to go here, add some sterling coal, add the steel we just got, and again wait for the furnace. There we go, this is the finished steel. When with this you will unlock all the weapons that you can craft on this station, and as you can see, you gotta have at least 100 weapons to craft from this mod pack, with different types of weapons like bows, swords, hammers, two-handed weapons, arbalists, shields. You have a lot of stuff that you can use on this mod. And because weapons are useless without any monsters to fight them, we have outsiders, a mod pack that adds a lot of enemies like Wendigos, Birch Elder, Void Cultists, and so much more. These general textures and everything that the monsters do are just clear and on point. I do recommend this mod so much. This is what makes this mod so great. The fact that you have a boss that's called Void Lord, but in general the attacks and everything is just pretty nice. About this fight, look, he's pretty tanky. He spawns some of the smaller guys, so you really just want to break down these monoliths. Otherwise, you are kind of gone. He's just going to continue spawning voidlings all over and again. And with that at your feet, well, it's kind of difficult to defeat this guy. But yeah, it's an epic fight that you can have, and it's just an amazing texture, amazing details, amazing everything. Blend seems to be working pretty good, which is something I had no idea. But yeah, this is just the best part of this mod. In general, everything is just clean, nice, and amazing. This mod is called rune focus, and it's criminally underrated. You want to find rune stones and you want to have these rune focus, and you just want to pretty much press 1, which is where I have the rune stone, and absorb the energy. And then the reason this is criminally underrated, because look, this is a foundation rune. You can kind of choose the size. You press E, you press mouse 1, sorry, and like it just flattens the ground for you. You have to do absolutely anything. It's perfect. And like I don't understand, like it's just one of those things that like the mod is just criminally underrated for whatever reason that is. So like, let's see, if I want to mine something, I don't have to, I'll just do this, and I use a bit of magic and I can mine a bit of stone. Like it's just a nice upgrade. Look at that. Choose Rune of Alertness. You can see what is around you. You can understand what enemies are around you, what are close to you, and the direction. Like, look at this. It's amazing. It's like a mini-map. Let's say you forget a boat. You don't need, you choose the Rune of Frozen Full Walls and you just go into the ocean. You will kind of take the magic and then you can cross to the other side of the ocean if you have enough magic, of course. Like, it's criminally underrated. It makes the game so much easier. I don't understand why people don't have this mod more. It gets to the point that you want to make like a building on the ocean, for example, and all you have to do is use energy to get a word and put a seal on it, and that's it, man. You're splitting the ocean. I don't understand. I really don't, guys. Another crazy good mod is magical mounts. So you can kind of craft these mounts and you can just walk around much faster and mount and dismount at your will. In this case, I was using the black deer. I'm going to be using the white one, for example. And yeah, you don't necessarily have to use the deers, but it's just going to make your journey and your travel much better. You also have wolves. And sort of like with the wolves, it kind of comes with the upgrade, because wolves, if you left click, do attack, and if you right click, they do have a special attack. So in general, they tend to be faster and also stronger because they do have a special attack once again. And if you kind of just do that, you can kind of kill everything around you. And for the last piece, you have in different colors and schemes. We have a galaxy horse here. He also has his own special attacks, which is kind of that on the back, which you definitely don't want to do that, and a smash on the ground. And again, traveling is just so much easier with these things around you, and I think it's one of the best mods. As usual, the video is over. Subscribe.